back here today for another video. Today we're going to be adding radio controls on my steering wheel, which my Jeep didn't come with. It's relatively easy to do. I'll run you guys right through it, and yeah, so we'll see how they work and everything, and if we're lucky, everything will go smooth and we'll be good to go. The first step here, anytime you're dealing with an airbag in the car, you want to take your battery terminal off. You definitely don't want that thing blowing up in your face. So let me get this terminal off, and we'll jump inside and get everything wired up here. Radio control harness. So some Jeeps only have cruise control on the steering wheel, like mine. I picked this up off of the eBay. It was like 60 bucks or so. Came with everything I needed. This might just plug in. If it's a 99 to 01 harness, it's just going to plug in. If not, I'm going to have to repin the factory connector. So 02 to 04 uses a different harness. But it's pretty easy to repin it. You just take the two wires out of the stereo control plugs. You use your existing harness back there. And then on pin 3 and 6, I believe it is, I'll know when I take it out, but you just push the pins in, and then you just plug everything in normal. Another thing to note is the radio controls go right back here, so I'm gonna have to cut this out. This is you know, it's not removable, so I'm gonna cut that out, and then the radio controls are gonna snap right in there. So to get this airbag out, there's two bolts. They're right in this hole here. They're both 8 millimeters. There's one on each side, and that should just remove your airbag. But you're going to want to wait a few minutes from disconnecting the battery just to make sure all the power's out, because this thing will hurt if it hits you in the face. So definitely disconnect your battery and wait, you know, like 5 minutes just to make sure everything's drained. So let me get this out, and then we'll see what the inside of the steering wheel looks like. So I got my airbag out. It's over here. So this plug right here, it just has a little squeeze tab. You just push it in and pull it out. The actual airbag plug, you're going to twist it counterclockwise and then pull out, and this will come right out. It doesn't have like a thing that you squeeze. You twist it and it pops out. So that's how you remove that. And next we're going to remove these two Phillips head screws, and we're going to unplug these right here. So by looking at this, I can tell you right now that I'm going to have to repin this connector. It's not a big deal. It's pretty easy to do. I'll let you guys know exactly what pins that it takes. And yeah, so the harness that I have is from a 02 to 04, so it's not going to work with these plugs in the clock spring. So we're gonna have to repin that. So, but it's easy. We'll get it done. And yeah, so let me get these switches out really quick. You just take the two Phillips head screws, and then you just squeeze the connectors. They're just a normal connector. You just squeeze it like that, and it unplugs like that. Same thing over here. Squeeze it in, pop it out. Now you can take your screws out, pop your switches out, and we'll get to cutting the holes out and getting everything put back together here. So give me 1 second. Yeah, I don't think that's working. All right, guys, so once you get to this point, I just cut some squares out of here. This isn't gonna fit right now. I'm gonna have to trim it a decent amount more, but you can generally see how that button goes in there. So instead of cutting, you know, close to the lines here, because I don't want to go too far, and it's gonna look like shit if I go too far. So I'm just gonna sit here, and I'm gonna make it nice with a pair of files. It's only plastic. You'll be able to file right through it. It shouldn't be an issue. It's gonna make a mess, unfortunately, but I'm gonna vacuum after, so it's not a big deal. So once I get the holes cut out, I'll show you how to wire it up. So the switches are in. Here's this one right here. See, it presses fine. Here's the other one right there. This one didn't come out as good, and I also kind of broke the plastic on the switch. Just be very careful pushing these in. I had to glue that back, but it should work, hopefully. I mean, eventually I want to replace this whole wheel with the leather one that they make that came as a factory option for, I think it was the Overlands, but I'm not going to do that yet. So
hopefully this works for now. But it seems pretty sturdy. I use super glue on it, and hopefully it doesn't break apart. But I'm gonna get it wired up and show you guys how exactly to wire it. It's all wired up. So you're gonna have two harnesses in here. You're gonna have your original harness, and then you're gonna have the new harness with the radio controls. So it's up to you if you want to clean this up, maybe take just the wires out for the radio controls. I'm just gonna tuck it all back here, but you're gonna be using your old harness. And the wires go on pin 3 and 4. It's the red and yellow and red and black. So pin 1 is on this side, pin 6 is on this side. So you just count like that, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the red and yellow goes on pin 3, and then red and black goes on pin 4. So you just push those in there, and you can tuck the harness back here. You're just gonna reuse your original harness. All right, guys, so if you have a stock radio, everything's gonna work perfectly fine. Everything's gonna work like normal. Just as long as you have the radio with the PCI jack in the back. It's yellow and blue wire. If you have aftermarket radio, you're either gonna need to buy a module to activate the steering wheel controls, or with my radio, it has program features, so I can program the buttons to it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, you can pretty much add whatever options you want to these things. All the plugs are in the interior, and if not, you just get a small little harness like what I showed you earlier, and you just plug it in, and you're good to go. But I hope this video helps you guys out a little bit, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.